Hello everyone, precision shooting friends. I am Giuseppe Valtorta, the CEO of Victrix, as well as the Grand Vizier factotum of the company, which, besides thinking about weapons, as you can see, I am here to explain them to you in these videos. Today we talk about Scorpio, Victrix Scorpio from the professional line in the T configuration. A weapon born in a bizarre way. In fact, imagine in my role, besides thinking about weapons and designing them together with the technical office, I am also responsible for testing them in the field, along with other professional collaborators. And as you can well imagine, I am usually accustomed to using weapons that are never in the final state of execution of the work, so I often and willingly test unfinished prototypes which lack paint, which lack some weight-reducing modifications, but in fact I test fully functional weapons, albeit with something missing to make them state-of-the-art from an aesthetic point of view, because the tests, at least in the initial step, are essentially done from a functional perspective to understand what works well, what doesn't work well, and what can be added or possibly removed. From there, along with the suggestions that came from you enthusiasts to have a weapon that had a lower cost but maintained the same characteristics in terms of construction and performance, the T was born. So, in reality, it is a weapon with Victrix quality in every respect, from which essentially the embellishments have been removed. So the T presents itself in a slightly different way compared to the V from an aesthetic point of view, but little different in terms of substance. We still have a chassis, entirely, machined from solid, always in lightweight alloy. So we are talking about the same materials we use in the V series, which is a lightweight alloy, 6282, and an Ergel 7075. The finish is deliberately only hard anodized, so it is a hard anodization, resistant to abrasion and corrosion like on all other weapons, lacking the superficial colored coating. Since we noticed that many of you prefer to customize weapons according to your taste and pleasure, they essentially did not want to pay for the extra cost of the Cerakote painting that we apply to the V series. Also, on the intermediate weapon. In fact, the features do not stop at the lack of painting, but you can see that even from a design perspective, they are different products. Essentially, the differences are, in this case, we have a 26-inch barrel. It is a Lothar Valtorta, which is a well-known German manufacturer. Many of you may already know it. We have a receiver and a bolt with different shapes. So, we have a receiver machined from milling and grinding, and a bolt machined from turning and grinding. In this case, we do not have electroerosion, but it is worked on different machines where, from a functional point of view, very little changes or even nothing, but we have the possibility of making slightly different numbers for the V series, being at a slightly lower price, to reach a level of industrialization that allows us to open the Victrix world even to those who are not interested in a whole series of additional things. From a construction point of view, we have a bolt with 6 symmetric lugs, whereas the V series has 3 asymmetric lugs that are externally presented relative to the body of the bolt. In this case, you can see we have 6 lugs of the same diameter as the stem. And they are symmetric. We have a bolt, also made of IISE 630, and a DLC coating that some of you may know. It is also used in the motorcycle sector. Think of the stems of racing bike forks. And DLC stands for diamond-like carbon, which is a high slipperiness coating that we use both to make the bolt smooth and fluid and to allow mechanical components to function without additional lubrication. The chassis shapes resemble what we see on the top of the line V, so the forend is essentially the same forend with a top rail machined from solid for mounting night vision systems, aiming systems, and a lower rail also machined from solid for the attachment of bipods and support systems, and a Picatinny rail directly machined onto the body for mounting the carry handle that you have seen is standard on the V series but can be applied to the T series. If desired, you can visit our online shop at rotini.it. In the shop, season and go add a whole series of components and accessories to functionally complete the weapon itself. Another difference is the magazine. It is a metal magazine compared to the V-Series magazine. It is a double stack magazine with a double presentation. This is a 10-round magazine. We have the same folding system that we now use on all weapons because it allows for quick opening and closing. Opening and closing can also be done with one hand, so it does not require the use of two hands. One can be used to hold the weapon. We have a button adjustment system, so a quick button system, both for the depth of the butt pad and for the height, using a button. We have the same adjustment on the cheek piece, making it a very simple, instinctive, and quick adjustment, especially suitable for athletes. We have the provision on the lower part for mounting a Picatinny rail. So if we want to use additional accessories like bipods or similar, we already have anchor points available. In this case, we have QD attachments for the carrying strap. With a quick attachment, we always have our rail for mounting the optical sighting system, still at 20 MOA, which, compared to the V version, is entirely machined from solid material along with the action, making it a monoblock action from the Picatinny to the action. In this case, the trigger is an adjustable dual-stage trigger, so we have both travel and brake. We have our 3-chamber muzzle brake, always with a design aimed at minimizing recoil, and we practically find all the technical solutions in terms of materials and treatments that we have on the other weapons. In this case, we have a 338 Lapua Magnum, which is usually used to cover considerable distances. Let's say in the enthusiast's mind, it always refers to distances beyond 1,000 meters, but one can also find satisfaction at much shorter distances. Keep in mind that the availability of shooting ranges sometimes makes it difficult to reach distances greater than 300, 400, or 500 meters. But with Magnum calibers, one can find great joy. The Scorpio T is offered in the same calibers. As the Scorpio V, we have the 300 Norma Magnum and 338 Lapua Magnum. For more technical curiosities, I invite you to visit our website, victrixarmaments.com, and check the Scorpio project section where you will find all the detailed technical information from both the V version and the T version. So you can be sure in choosing your next weapon, or see you soon and in the next video.